video, right? Okay. Chapter 1158 of One Piece. Rocks versus Harold. Yeah, we finally found out officially whose grave this was. Maybe I was out of the loop. Okay, I didn't know that they were from the Kozuki family, but hey, we found out now officially. We see the front of the grave and the name. It's the guy who fought Kaido and died, and when Kaido killed him, I don't know what he hit him with. He must have hit him with a blast breath because they say no trace of his body remained. He is nobody. So this grave is just here in name only. Like his body is just gone. Okay, so Kaido must have blast breathed him away. That must have been it. So the chapter really starts out showing us the Roxas crew at sea, and Rox is upset about something. He's over here pouting, making a stupid face. And they're talking about Shaki, and they find out that she's on Pirate Island and whatnot. Rayleigh pulls up. No, not Rayleigh, my bad. Gabon pulls up on Rayleigh, asks him, what did y'all talk about? Why is the captain so mad? Roger basically finds out that Shaki gave Rayleigh a love letter. That means that, Shaki loves Rayleigh. So Roger gave up, but then he kind of says, nah, forget that, I'm not going to give up. I'm coming back. So they, they want to go visit Shaki on Pirate Island. Roger talks about kidnapping her, right? Because he's talking about how they're true pirates. So he's talking about kidnapping her. So this is how, a lot of stuff is going to start happening between Rocks and Roger, because they're going to steal that Hachinosu treasure, right? I wonder how are they going to get to God Valley, though? Like, why would Roger pull up there? Is he chasing Rocks? I don't know. We're going to find that out. But anyway, there was a scene right here with Garland talking to the Gorosei, and I don't know what he's talking about exactly. He's like really vague. He's talking about he was dealing with an unaffiliated nation, obviously unaffiliated with the world government, right? But he's dealing with the nation, and they got rich resources, and the land could benefit the world government. But he found something, as he said, preposterous there. I don't know what he's talking about, but he found something there, and he makes this ominous ass face at the bottom saying, the Great One will be pleased with it, I'm sure. So I don't know what it is that he found there on God Valley, but he's the reason why God Valley it was chosen for the next place of the competition. Now, I really can't even imagine what he found there. Did he find Kuma? Like, I mean, Imu wouldn't be pleased with that. Like, what could it be? Like, is it a person? I don't know. I really don't know. But that's a big question right there. So we know Garland's going to be a future elder also, right? So we go straight into next. Shaki has her bar, and her line is super, super long for her bar, okay? There's a lot of people there, and, obviously it's a rip-off bar. People are going there to get abused by Shaki and, like, disrespected and talked to, like, like they're trash and all that. They're saying, oh, I've never had this abysmal service, and they're thankful for that shit. They know the whiskey's cheap and all that sort of shit. So they're going there to get abused by Shaki, right? Shaki, she just got it like that. Everybody's pulling up to get abused by her, right? So then, who pulls up? Roger pulls up to the bar, okay? Now, obviously, we all know what's going to happen. We all know, like, Roger and Rox got some beef, so we knew that they were going to, like, get in some sort of, like, argument or fight, but like I've been saying, I feel like the Pirate Island, the bar on the Pirate Island, is going to have that sort of like, hands-off policy. Like if you ever seen John Wick, whenever every agent, it doesn't matter who you are, if you got beef with this dude, it doesn't matter how you want to kill this dude because he killed your whole family in front of you. If you're all meet in that same building, if you all are inside that same building at the same time, you got to respect the rules, and nobody is killing anybody in there. You got to take that shit outside. So her bar has that same, I think there's a name for that. I can't think of that, but her bar has the same sort of rule that, like, you're going to respect that shit no matter what. And everybody's upholding it. Rock's got to leave his own island to fight somebody. That's his island. He got to leave the island to fight somebody because of Shaki, right? But anyway, let's get to the next part. I took a screenshot of this because, like, I was wondering what the hell this dialogue meant. And now let me just break it down, right? So Shaggy pulls up on Rocks and says, you know, what's the matter? You seem so fulfilled. If I didn't know any better, I might think you lost interest in me. He's like, what? He's smiling and shit, looking stupid. And Big Mom starts slapping him on the back. She said, see, a woman's intuition could be scary. So immediately that means whatever Shaggy's saying is most likely right? Because she saw through him, right? So Big Mom already told Rocks that Shaggy was going to realize that or whatever, right? He's saying, hey, pipe down, it's supposed to be a secret from everybody. Whitebeard says, what are you talking about? Okay, and we got Stussy over here, another woman, I feel like I said women, another woman, right? They got the intuition. In this scene, that's going to be important because she says you're so dense. So obviously, she knows what's going on, right? She says you're dense to Whitebeard. And she thinks in her head, it's not just a woman. It's not just a woman. I think I cut the rest of it off by an accident, but she said it's not just a woman. That's the new face of her father. She's talking about Rocks, I think, bro. Did Rocks have a kid with Big Mom? Is Blackbeard Big Mom's son? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's a big question. What's going on with that? They said that's the face of a new father. And she said, you lost interest in me. Big Mom said, see, I told you she was gonna know that. He said, be quiet, nobody's supposed to know. What do you think that is? What do you think that means? Okay. I think that's Rock's got a son on the way. That's what that's meaning right there, maybe. I don't know. But right here, we see Rocks. I mean, I keep calling Roger Rocks. Okay, every time I'm about to mention Roger's name, I say Rocks. I got to stop doing that. But Rocks destroyed the entire crew of people outside. Whitebeard leaves. Okay, I'm not going to stay on the small details, but we get to this part right here. Shaggy wants to know where Rayleigh is. Long story short, he's not there. He's on the ship. You know, Roger denies Gloriosa with something that doesn't make any sense. He has no logic. He said, I don't need a woman who's throwing hearts all over the place and causing chaos, but Shaggy's an exception, of course. That it doesn't make sense, but he's like, no, I'm just fucking with Shaggy more than you. He could have said that. So, you know, Shaggy leaves and all that, and she passes out. And I guess, you know, it's a part of the whole love sickness thing that she has going on. So even Roger was saying earlier that he noticed something was ailing her, and he was feeling bad about that. They don't know it's the whole love sickness thing. We're dealing with Rayleigh and everything, right? So yeah, like I said earlier, they can fight at sea, but not inside the bar. No fighting inside the bar. But we get to Elbaf. Kid Loki and little kid Harlden holding on to trees and shit, hiding, watching his father, their father, fight Rocks. Okay, Rocks pulled up on Harold and started fighting him. That shit was inevitable. I don't know if Rocks knows that Harold was directly ordered to kill him, because he didn't do it yet, and he didn't mention it in this chapter, right? But they are fighting because Rocks knows that Harold is completely aligned with the world government at this point, right? And there's something I've been saying about that, like, and the fact that Rocks pulled up on Emu kind of validates what I've been thinking about Rocks, because I feel like he's one of the only people in this era, that know about the bigger picture of dealing with the world government, you know what I mean? And how Emu, and there's somebody sitting at the top of the throne. He knows that truth. That's why he was able to even pull up into that room, because he knows that there's somebody in there, and you know, that was a goal. He knows about that. That's why he wants to take down the world government. He knows how to do it. He knows he got to take down Emu. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody else is just, I guess, satisfied with being pirates. He wants the world, like he said. I don't know how he knows that truth, but he knows that truth. And I'm sure, obviously, Rocks might know that. I mean, Blackbeard, his son, might know the same truth. Okay, he might know that same truth, because their goals are the same. And how else are you gonna, like, realistically take the world over if you don't know who you're targeting, right? Rocks knows who he's targeting. He said, "I'll be back." So he's trying to get those two devil fruits from God Valley or wherever he's gonna get them from God Valley. That's where he wants to go get them from. He's not gonna get them. We know he dies. But anyway, he starts talking about they're gonna turn you into slaves and they want to just use your people as military power and all that. Calls him a coward, hits him with a strong ass attack. I don't know where the hell, like, was it a sword swing? But then it's like a circular blast going into his stomach, coming out the back. No, did he? Like, I don't know. Like, Rox is strong as fuck. That's the long story short. He's strong as fuck. He can go toe to toe with Harold. Harold can't dominate him in a fight. They're clashing with hockey all day down there. Okay, I'm surprised the tree didn't split apart. But they're not friends anymore. They're done with all that. So we go to Kid Loki. We see Kid Loki sitting here. And I think this panel right here should put to rest everybody wondering if Kid Loki can see through the bandages. Because he's been seeing this whole fucking time. But some people still question it. If you don't see him reading a paper, he's reading a newspaper with bandages on his face. What more of a notion or sign do you need to know that Loki can see with the bandages on, bro? Now, whether or not his eyes are special, maybe the bandages are thin enough that he can see, but nobody wants to see his eyes. I don't know. I think it can be either one. I don't know. His eyes still could be special. He could have some Sharingan or some shit. He could probably see shit nobody else can. I don't know. But we don't know that. And we get this scene right here, and I keep saying, this reminds me of Jotaro. I don't know if y'all watch or know about JoJo, but that nigga Jotaro, he treats his mom just like this. Like, she said, Rox isn't coming, Loki. Shut up, you old hag. You want some juice? Yeah. And he just takes the juice, right? So it's like Jotaro, except he's not calling her a bitch. He's just calling her old hag. And Jotaro calls his mom a bitch all day. But so we go to God Valley in the West Blue. One more year after the events or whatever the hell we were seeing here. Everybody fighting everything. Rox, Roger, Harmon. And we see the birth of the twins, Shamrocks and Shanks. I call them Shank. Shamrock and Shanks, okay? I don't know what the hell was going on. I don't know who this woman is. But she has red hair. Like everybody obviously knows, because Garland's hair isn't red, so we know their mom has to have the red hair, right? Their mom is the one with the red hair. Shanks and Shamrock being born on God Valley, and Garland talking about something preposterous being on God Valley. I don't think that's a coincidence. I don't know. So we're gonna find out exactly what the hell he's talking about. Why the fuck they're born on God Valley specifically. Like, and the people who she's talking to, like their mom, like, who are they exactly? Like, I can't scroll up. I'm having trouble. But listen. Okay, here we go. Who are they exactly, right? I'm assuming since they're living so peaceful and they're not like, the babies didn't get immediately taken and stolen. I'm assuming that they're like, part of some royal family, like celestial dragons, other family members and shit like that. I don't know. Because they're living kind of peaceful, it looks like. They're on God Valley. So we're gonna find out all that. We're gonna get them answers. Like, what did Garland see? What did he find on God Valley? Okay, and Harold and Rox. How was Harold gonna try to? I mean, he might not even have to kill Rox anymore. He might stop pursuing that because Rox ends up dying at God Valley anyway. You know what I'm saying? So we might see that happen too. But as far as that goes, I don't think there's anything else to say about this chapter. If I think anything else I left out, I'll probably put it in the comments on the video, because I am chopping this out of the live stream and making it a video. But yeah, I guess that's really it for me, man. I just read the whole chapter, talked about it. If I think of something else, I'll write it in the comments, but I'm out.